Hello. Oh, hello.
We have an audience here.
Hello. Hello there.
Thank you for coming, guys.
I heard a General Kenobi. Well done. Everyone else who didn't get that, leave. Leave. You're wasted. You're wasted. Thank you for coming to our podcast, Star Wars Sessions podcast live. We're very excited. We're going to be doing some hot takes. And it's really bright.
But I can't see anyone's
can't see
face
you
here, so
guys.
don't be offended if I'm looking the wrong way when you're talking. But we assume that Star Wars, not many people have opinions about it, so we thought we'd try and change the game today with this.
Yeah, we've not got opinions, really. I'm sure you guys don't have opinions. Everyone quickly shout out your favourite Star Wars.
I heard The Last Jedi.
That was pathetic.
bit louder.
Again, what favourite Star Wars? Oh, I got a few Attack of the Clones there. Is that right?
Who said the Clone Wars film?
Yeah, Clone Wars film.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Okay, all right. So we're going to begin this with Matty Boy and I. Well, firstly, if you don't know us, if you've never heard of us, we are probably Britain's greatest Star Wars podcast.
We don't want to say for certain, do we?
Yeah, we're not 100%
Probably.
sure. Thank you.
Thanks, Dad.
We didn't pay him to do that. Right, so yeah, we record shows every week, and this is like our second live podcast. Really excited to do this, really excited to hear your thoughts and opinions. But to kick it off, we're going to give you some spicy opinions, some spicy thoughts alongside whatever the hell they're singing over there, okay? But we're going to try and ignore that because we're in Star Wars world right now.
That's it.
Okay, who wants to go first?
Well, if you don't agree with us, make as much noise as you want. And then when you do agree with me, make even more noise about that as well.
All right.
I've got one. I've got one.
Okay.
Rey Skywalker. I think her introduction in The Force Awakens and that entire film wipes the floor with the introduction of Luke Skywalker in A New Hope. Now, Luke Skywalker's a farm boy. He's a farm boy. He wants to join the academy. He gets a bit lucky, see what I mean? He joins the academy, and then because he'd bullseyed a few Womps rats, can take down an entire space station and survive a space battle. Now, I don't know if anyone's played Starfighter Assault on Battlefront 2, but it ain't easy to survive a space battle. But he does it with aplomb. Rey, she's a scavenger. She's waiting for her parents. She doesn't want to be part of the fight. She's drawn into it. She's captured by the bad guy. The Force awakens within her. She makes plenty of mistakes along the way in that first film. She has to fight a dying, injured, not Sith Lord, but a bad guy. But she's not the one who blows up Starkiller Base. It's the Ace Squadron who does it. She's just surviving against Kylo Ren, and her story is way more interesting than Luke Skywalker in A New Hope.
Who disagrees? He disagrees. I think I disagree.
Come on then.
Is it me, or does this feel like a rap battle a little bit? Do you know what I mean? Like, there's a little bit of that.
What I'm saying is true, but I'll give you a time to finish.
I disagree.
Okay.
I think Luke's really interesting. I don't think he's the optimist everyone says he is, right?
No.
Everyone goes, he's the galaxy's biggest optimist. No, he's not. He moans about everything. He don't shut up moaning about stuff. He gives up on things. He takes, he needs a push to get to his final destination, right? That's what I'd think. That's what I think. And I love him. Return of the Jedi is the feel-good film of the year every year. What do you think? Is it, Yeah, 2 agreements. All right, on to a good one.
It took him 2 films to get to that point.
On to a good one. Yeah, go on. Come up here.
Come on up.
Come up here. Go on, jump on. What's your name, mate?
It's Luca.
Luca, nice. That's a Star Warsy sort of name. Right, and what were you about to say, mate?
Yeah, well, all of the comics about Luke, there's not many comics about Rey though. So, but I mean, a lot of comics for Luke. Most of them aren't canon, but a lot of them are. Legends aren't canon, but there's still a lot of canonical comics which deep dive into the character and stuff.
Okay, I think that's a good point. Round of applause. Well done, mate. Well done, Luca.
Nice one, Luca, mate.
Yeah, well done.
Nice
Go on,
one.
just jump back down to wherever planet you came
It
from.
doesn't
Thank
change.
you
It
so
doesn't
much,
change
mate.
the fact that Rey Skywalker's story is much better in that first film.
Right,
than Luke's.
okay, so who thinks, right,
Who
Rey
agrees with me?
Skywalker or Luke Skywalker?
This side is Rey.
Right, hang on. Rey? Luke Skywalker.
There's something wrong with the acoustics
Right.
on that side, mate.
Okay, my next hot take is about canon, Star Wars canon.
This'll be fun.
He loves canon, but I'm going to ruin that for him because I think canon is more of a theory, right? Canon's not a fact. Canon can't just be, like that's definitely canon. The lines are getting blurred more and more every month. See, he knows. He knows.
Loves it.
Right,
This
okay.
guy loves it.
So who's seen the Tales of the Jedi? What do you think? What do you think? Guys, what do you think? 4 episodes, so most of it. Did you like it? You liked it. It is interesting. It's really interesting. Okay, well...
I feel a butt coming on here.
Tales of the Jedi just kind of retconned a book that came out a few years ago. A few years ago, a book called Ahsoka came out. Tales of the Jedi comes along, completely retcons it. The book is meant to be canon. It's meant to count. It's meant to be actually what happened. And then this show comes along, destroys that. That's why I think canon is more of a theory. It's kind of a guideline. Live action is king. You wasted your time reading that book.
I've wasted all my time and money. The book itself is fine. On that one, I kind of agree with her a little bit. But
Right.
I think there needs to be that cohesive canon. Otherwise, we end up with Legends and EU, which was in parts very good and in parts not very good.
Not good.
And I think we need to have that cohesive narrative. There are always going to be continuity errors. There's always going to be someone's from a certain point of view who's going to come into it. But I think there is still a well-defined hierarchy there, like you say. But how many books and comics and games and mobile games and pamphlets have been released that haven't been tampered with?
True.
96% of it will just be left as it is.
True.
But the big ones, like this entire novel, which has been thrown out, it sticks out a little bit more. But I think it's important. I think canon matters.
So okay, so we're kind of on the same page.
Kind of.
Yeah, all right, that's a bit of a boring one, isn't it? Anyway, canon, who cares? Right, you got a hot take? One more? One
Yeah.
more from you, more from me?
We spoke to somebody the other day who said episodes 7, 8 and 9, they don't count. They don't count as canon, they don't count in the story, right? And we had a tete-a-tete about it, and in the end, well, I think we won. But I kind of thought to myself, if we're going to use that kind of line of thought, the prequels are pointless as well. There is no need for the prequels, because everything that happens in those films, they mention it in the OT. We hear about the Clone Wars, we hear about Luke's dad, we hear about the fall of the Jedi. All they're doing, it's the solo of Star Wars trilogies. It's just checking off what we already know. But I love the prequels, I love them with all my heart. But if you think about it, we don't really need them, do we? We get sexy Ewan McGregor, sexy Obi-Wan, sexy Hayden. That's always going to be a good thing. But do we need them? Really?
Yes.
But we already know the story.
Next point.
We already know the story.
No, seriously. What do people think about the prequels? Do we need the prequels? Do we? Oh, there was a... Who thinks that we could do without them? We want what?
Oh,
Nubian, we like a Republic credits.
Case closed then, yeah.
If anyone in Lucasfilm is watching, by the way, I can do the voice acting for Watto at a very good rate.
Yes, I can be a
very
Hutt
good
as
rate.
well.
Yeah, thank you,
Prequels,
mate.
story-wise though, we knew all about them anyway. There's nothing new.
Okay, well, my next hot take is about the prequels as well, okay? It is prequel related. And I feel a bit bad saying this because a little show called Obi-Wan Kenobi came out a few
heard of
months
it.
ago. I really liked it. I didn't think it was perfect, but I really liked the show.
What about you guys? Who here likes the
what-
Obi-Wan Kenobi show?
Yeah, okay.
Majority.
Did you like it? Did you... Yeah, okay.
Is that
All
like
right.
or love?
Okay.
Love, we got some love.
A bit of a mix, okay. Well, listen, I love the prequels. I grew up with those bad boys. They are beautiful.
Where's this
Are they
going?
perfect? No. Is there good acting in them? Not always. Is the writing great in it? A head sand. No. Okay. But
Only my new powers can do that.
I still love them. I still adore the prequels. But you know one thing that I think kind of goes unchecked? Ewan McGregor. I think Ewan McGregor's acting is a bit ropey in episodes 1 to 3. It's not his best work, and it's not always convincing. What do you guys think? Am I being too harsh? Who loves a bit of Ewan? Oh, okay. Is
it a case of he's the best of a bad bunch, but isn't still that good? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, kind of, I suppose. I mean, I love Ewan. He's a beautiful Scotsman, but, you know, like...
Yeah, that mullet, that beard, does wonders for us, but the rest of the guys in those films, we all know, that ain't a hot take. They weren't great. You get Natalie Portman, and you somehow make her wooden as hell. Yeah. Something's wrong there, but, you know, bless him, we love George. He gave us a platform at MCM, but...
what do you think?
Ewan.
Do you see where I come from? Do you see what I mean?
He gets better as he goes along, because I think he's even said himself, in episode 1, he is pretty much doing an Alec Guinness impression. He's trying to do that voice, trying to get those Guinnessisms down.
Yeah.
And then in episode 2, he becomes a little bit more cheeky. And in 3, 3 is his meatiest work. You know, 3, especially as we get to the fight in Mustafar, and at the end, you are the chosen one. I think he gets his best work. He doesn't escape unscathed, though, but nobody did. But up until recently, Star Wars has never really been known for good acting. You know, that's not really the forte. It's more, you know, spectacle, story, feeling, thematics.
Yeah,
acting,
yeah, there's a bit of truth.
Yeah.
There's a bit of truth there. We get it, but we still love it. We still love the prequels, don't we? Who loves the prequels? Come on.
Okay,
right,
before we start, we've had a prequels. Who loves the originals? And one more. Who loves the sequels? That's disappointing.
Okay, all right. Well, this is going to be fun. You've just seen a little demonstration about how this works, okay? So we've got up, we've said a hot take, we chat about it. I know you guys. You're from Beauty and the Geek, aren't you? Yeah, sexy people. I'll come to you later. All right, okay. No, okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to invite you guys to come up here and give us a Star Wars hot take, and we can debate it. Matty Boy and I might add a few points, but we might add another person up here and add a few points. It's going to be really grown up. It's going to be really friendly, okay? There is no wrong opinion. Well, there are some wrong opinions.
Some are.
And also, we are a family-friendly podcast, so please, no swearing, no politics, no religion. Just, you know, leave that. It's just Star Wars here for the time being.
Have a look.
Okay, all
Do
right.
we have a volunteer to come up first with a hot take that is going to blow the doors off MCM?
Who's this over here?
First one
Come up here, mate. Come up here. Round of applause for this person.
You've got your own microphone as well, mate. Watch out for the beer. What's your name, mate?
I'm Zamin.
You come over into the middle here. Here we are. What's your name, mate?
The lights.
Bright, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's bright.
You see?
And it's hot.
I wouldn't say hot, but bright.
Put you in your place.
Right.
All right.
I'm Zamin, and I think that Rogue One is the best written Star Wars movie out of the lot.
Oh! Woo! Best written.
Yeah, best. So like best story, best characters, that sort of thing.
Right. Okay.
This guy's got a bigger pop than me. I'm off. I'm off.
You. What do you think about that?
Rogue One is everyone. You know, Empire, like from a cinematic, classical point of view, is going to be. You know, I don't think you're going to beat that. But for me, Rogue One is the best Star Wars film because everything that's good about the franchise is in that film. I get the criticisms about the first half. It's a bit slow. You know, we've got to be introduced to this whole cavalcade of characters and blah blah. But when it hits its peak, you got the battle in space, you've got the ground battle, you've got the espionage, and it's topped off with Daddy Vader going down that hall, slicing fools up.
It's pretty good.
I've told you, the guy next to me in the cinema was about 70. He was an older gentleman. When that scene started, he'd obviously seen the films, you know, back in the 70s. His wife had to physically restrain him in the seat because he was trying to jump up and whoop. And us Brits don't really do that in the cinema. This guy, though, he almost went full Vader on this aisle of the cinema. So Rogue One, for me, it's number one. So I'm with you on that.
Who here isn't a fan of Rogue One or thinks it's overrated?
It's okay.
Come up, come up, come up. You put your hand up. You put your hand up, come up. Right, round of applause.
Here we go.
Yeah, okay.
Come over there. Come to Master Blywalker over there.
You have come as Vader?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right, so why do you think Rogue One is overrated? If we don't
I think that because they have an end point already, which is that everyone has to die, it kind of, they make clumsy new characters and try to make you care about them, but when they die, I feel like it's so made up, I just don't care. Like, it feels so forced.
Sounds a bit like the prequels to me. We've already got an end game, see? It's pointless.
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I disagree, but also when you come up here and put it like that, it's kind of hard to argue a little bit. Mostly because I've never met you before and I don't want to like tell. But what are people thinking? Rogue One, are we leaning toward this gentleman or this young lady? What are we thinking?
Yay or nay?
Rogue One, yes. Rogue One, eh. Oh, okay. All right, well, listen, take the L, but it's a healthy L. It's lettuce.
You are
I know I'm in
the
the
first
middle.
winner. Thank you so much, mate. Round of applause.
Round of
for these
applause,
ladies.
that's really good, right. We're getting the idea,
The only question is,
Yeah.
who's next?
Who's next? Henry, get up here, mate. Get up here.
You may recognise this handsome face from a little TV show. Henry, take the mic.
Now then.
Now then. What is your Star Wars hot take?
Right.
He's looking good, isn't he?
Cheers, man. Cheers. I hate all of the prequels.
Are you joking?
No. I believe all of the prequels, the height of the prequels, Revenge of the Sith, for me, is 4 out of 10.
What? But you love the Clone Wars.
The Clone Wars is my favourite Star Wars thing ever, and that is the best thing that's
Right,
come out
Clone
of the prequels.
Wars. Clone Wars.
We got a Clone Wars fan. I think we're going to have some pushback to the prequels being panned.
The prequels are pants, in my opinion.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Okay. I feel like I've been stabbed slightly in my heart. Who here loves the prequels? Who wants to go against this gentleman? Right, hands
there.
up. Hands up. Is that?
I saw a hand up there. You in the
yeah,
white
who's
there?
It? Yeah.
Yep.
Come on.
I saw the hand go up and down again. We see it.
Prequel defender.
Here we go.
Right, round of applause, please. Thank you so much.
What's your name?
I'm SJ.
SJ.
You guys met me, but I was red.
Sif Twi'lek.
Sif
There we go.
Twi'lek.
There we go. Right.
We didn't
And
recognise
you
you about the red
love
paint.
the prequels. Please explain.
So, whoa. Okay, so if we take out the screenwriting, it was a bit iffy. Take out the acting, bit iffy. The prequels opened up an entire world of other canon stuff that you love, I love, and
Canon.
everyone loves. We would not have gotten it without the prequels. So if you think that you don't like the films, you don't like the storylines, firstly, the original trilogy wouldn't have existed. Wow, wait for it. Wouldn't have existed without George writing all of the build-up to it. And I'm well nervous.
You're going to
I've
have a
got
fight
shaky
about
leg.
this, yeah.
Seriously, shake a leg. But if you look at all the pros of what we've gotten from it and the characters we've gotten from it and the politics and the controversy, we couldn't have lived without it.
Here we go.
You make a valid point. However, we are looking at these films as films. If we look at them as movies, the acting is frankly appalling. What I will say, the music, John Williams slays.
Yeah, he does.
The music in Attack of the Clones is the best part of Attack of the Clones, in my personal opinion.
That and Padme.
Oh, and
He
Padme,
beat me to it, yeah.
and Padme.
And Ewan's
that
mullet.
Venice dress and
Yeah, Ewan's mullet, Dexter Jetster. I think you're underselling him.
Oh
man.
yeah, Dexter's fit as well.
Certainly is.
Yeah.
Greasy, beefy boy.
Exactly. But if we look at them as movies, because they are movies and not a thing to build off of. For me, they just don't do it. They don't do it.
Do you know what I love about the prequels is that they are so ahead of their time. They look at a huge political spectrum and they show you that, hey, the Jedi, they're the good guys. They're the good guys, but they're wrong. They're imperfect. They're misguided.
They've lost
they
their
make
way.
silly mistakes, and they don't use love. And if you love Return of the Jedi, the whole point of that film, the whole point of the series, the whole point of Star Wars is family, love, redemption. And I just feel like You know, that moment where Luke saves his father, not by killing someone, that doesn't matter. None of that matters. It's by saving his father.
Yep.
His father saves him back out of love. That's Star Wars. And I think the caveat to having that moment with the prequels to build up the loss, are you starting to come a little bit toward the prequels?
No, I think that, no.
Right.
Because, like, tonally, it's a film for 12-year-olds. Like, no,
Ooh.
Wait,
Lukey boy.
I would just say
Oh,
one second.
no,
just
we're
quickly.
going.
no one gives a about politics and all of that. Like if it's a
Excuse
thing,
me.
tonally, it's all over the place. You got Jar Jar in one, and then the rest of the film they're blabbering on about trade routes.
Taxation.
It's
hot.
The opening crawl goes the taxation of the trade routes to Naboo, and it's like, oh my god.
And that didn't
this is
excite you
Star
as a
Wars,
12-year-old?
this is-
Okay,
Yeah, let's go.
I'm sorry. Let me just take it back to your point on let's look at them as films, right? The original trilogy, the good things people say about that is they're so ahead of their time. They're not good films. They were just made in the 70s.
Whoa.
Here we go.
We got some stormtroopers over there. They're going to, like, come and stand.
Oh, come on, they're just rip-off clone
and miss.
troopers.
Yeah.
Rip-off
Yeah.
clone troopers.
Right.
An actual fight.
They
Well,
can't
well,
aim,
guys,
they
guys,
can't
Put
do
it to the audience.
Yeah, let's put it to the audience. Guys, the prequels, yes. What are we thinking? The prequels,
No.
not so much.
Henry, mate. You might
We
be a
got-
beautiful geek, but you've lost this one.
Guys,
Take the
thank
W.
you so much. Thank you, mate. Right, we got. I know we've got another hot take from one of my friends. Is it? Where's Shawnee Boy? Where's Shawnee Boy? Shawnee Boy. Right, get up here, mate. Get up here. Well, I say one of my friends. This is Matt's brother, so you know. Come up here, mate.
Older.
Round of applause, please.
Take a microphone, brother.
Thank you.
Right. Okay, so I know this one is going to be a bit controversial. Yes, there was some slight planning for this one because I think you need to include this one. Sean.
And it's not controversial in the slightest.
Okay. All right. Okay, I'm
And
going
if
to
I
sit
can
down.
take this opportunity just to say
I'm
the
with you.
word execution.
Oh, drink. If anyone knows, have a drink.
The Last Jedi is by far and away and by an enormous distance the best Star Wars movie ever made.
Oh, we've got
Hey,
a
are there
few.
people cheering? Hang on.
Go on,
What-
keep-
Last
louder.
Jedi, what are you thinking?
Louder there.
Okay,
And do you know what-
okay.
do you know what the caveat to this is? We've been here all weekend. It's been an awesome event. We've been speaking about the quality of pastries in the bakery, and then the conversation will go to, I don't like The Last Jedi. We're not even bringing it up, but it seems to have come back around again, The Last Jedi discourse.
Everyone's talking about it.
It just came out of nowhere. So, is there anyone here in the audience who thinks The Last Jedi ain't all that? Go on,
Right.
Lukey boy.
Mark, you're wrong.
Right.
You're wrong, Mark.
Over
I
there.
see. Is that Mo? Mo, come here.
Oh,
mate.
no.
Come here. Come here,
The
mate.
Warriors coming up on stage.
Has he got,
Right.
has he got one of his hilts?
This is like Civil War all over again. Right, round of applause for Mo.
And check out the hilt on his belt. This guy. Mo,
Right.
have you got an answer to this?
Last Jedi is the reason I can't get through the sequels, even though I try very hard. I feel like Luke was a completely different character to what he was like in the originals. What else? It just didn't. It clashed a little bit with The Force Awakens. He said he's gone off to an island to die, but yet he left a map to his location in The Force Awakens. Just some of it didn't really make a lot of sense to me. And just the whole tone of the
That's
movie
a good point.
was
I
just
didn't think of that.
very
Yeah.
depressing. And yeah, you could argue it was JJ or just poor planning in general. I feel like if the sequels were all done by the same person, I'm sure it would have been good. But
It would have been more cohesive, I think. And we're sequel fans. So we like the sequels. I like The Last Jedi probably more than you do.
Yeah, slightly.
I think it's
there are
great.
bits in The Last Jedi that I think are near perfect, right?
the music
and
is
then
really
there
good.
That's why is everyone
Visually,
saying that?
it's
The
really
music's really good. Like,
Oh, it
yeah,
is,
like-
isn't it?
No, but there are other moments in The Last Jedi where I'm like, that doesn't quite land it. I'm not a fan of the humour. I think the humour sucks. It's completely different to the humour in The Force Awakens. But Sean, What are you saying to Mo? What's your reply?
Here we
mate?
go.
No, I do massively agree that if the sequels were all written by the same person, yeah, that would absolutely make a huge difference. But like for the middle film in the trilogy, like more actual character development happens in that movie than any of the others. Like The Rise of Skywalker is a train wreck. It's like it goes at 7,000 miles an hour.
But
and
it's
it's
so
hang on. What do people think of The Rise of Skywalker? Are there fans here?
Come on, yeah, that's it.
Well, hang on. Who doesn't like The Rise of Skywalker?
Only not too many then. Somehow Palpatine
I
returned.
don't know, mate. There's a few. Yeah, fair enough. Carry on.
But yeah, no. It's not that bad. I did see it a few times. But like you get stuff like the Hondo maneuver and stuff like it is beautiful. It is the most beautiful Star Wars film created.
And what about Luke? What about Luke?
Luke he's clearly got some kind of like PTSD. He is a changed man, and he's like that's why he's a changed man. And I think we discussed this on StarWarsSessions.co.uk or the Discord channel.
Good show.
It's a great show. You guys should check it out, actually. Like, loads of people just like, I don't like The Last Jedi because they're not twirling around with laser swords and stuff like that. It's like, it's a grown-up Star Wars movie. And when you look at like Andor now, it's a lot more grown up. But it's, yeah, the humour is rubbish at the beginning, I'll give you that. But
Mo's clenching his
I think
fist
it's
in
a
his
beautiful
pocket.
movie.
He's clenching his fist.
There is a lot to appreciate about The Last Jedi as a movie. Visually stunning, the music is great. As you say, the character development, especially of Kylo Ren, is amazing in it, more so than Rey. I think there's a few concepts in it that I like, the whole idea of the dyad connect. So there is a lot to like about The Last Jedi. The problem was, for me, is always going to be Luke just felt like a completely different He was always a hero rushing to save his family, even in the even when Yoda said to him, you know, you can't do this or you'll lose your training. And he said, I don't care, you know, it doesn't matter about what they represent, I have to go help them. And he just felt like so defeated, and like his sister is in trouble and he just doesn't care, he just wants to sit there and fish.
Did Yoda or Obi-Wan do anything different? They went into exile, right?
Yeah.
They went into their little caves.
And then tried to make Luke kill his own father because they couldn't do it.
Okay, don't have an answer for that one. But
Right, okay, right,
you make really good points. I do want to love it, but I just struggle with it every time.
Now, what if Star Wars fandom was more like this, right? What if it actually disagreed politely, right? What if it were more like this? Okay, fantastic.
I agree.
Yeah!
Woo!
Celebrate the love! We love it. Right,
Last Jedi.
Well done, boys, well done.
I think The Last Jedi seems to have done quite well. So, I know there's somebody in the front row here. This chap here who's been gagging to come up. Gag no longer, my friend. Come on up. Grab the microphone.
Okay. So my hot take is, and I might be pushing it, is should swear words be in Star Wars?
Ooh.
Because
don't say any of them.
Because I won't say them, but in Andor, Episode 3, for the first time, we heard someone said the S word.
Yes, we did. Now,
it's not a bad point.
I like this point.
It's not a bad point.
What's your name, mate?
Jay.
Jay, I agree with you. I don't think there should. Well, did you say you don't think swear words should be?
Doesn't think there should be.
You've not said. What do you think?
I would think that there should be like some words that are acceptable, like the H word, but words like the S word, the F word, the C word, they shouldn't be on.
No, not the C word.
Yeah. Who here wants to hear rampant swearing in Star Wars?
We don't. Yeah, who wants swearing in Star Wars?
One. Good.
Does swearing not
saying
belong?
no.
Does swearing not belong in Star Wars?
Oh, we have in Rebels. We have things like what's that kid? Zeb. He says like Carabast. That's a naughty word. It's the naughtiest one you could say. But
I like when they make up. Well, I like when they make up the swear words. You know, like
Criff,
Dank Farrick, and you're like, yeah, great. I can use that when I'm in the kitchen and not get in trouble. You know, it's brilliant. It's perfect. Now, does anyone disagree, or are we all on the same page?
I think you've unified the fandom,
mate. Jay, high five.
Jay has done it.
Okay.
Nice one, man.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, dude. There we are.
Now, we do have a controversial opinion about Kylo Ren. Who loves
Oh, yes.
a thick boy Kylo Ren?
Swallow.
I've got a mate in the audience who's got a photo where he looks just like Kylo, topless. That's Cowbag over there, and he drew this.
Yeah.
So, everyone clap Callum. Well
Just,
done, mate.
just for that art, man.
Well done. He's right there. Yeah. Emma, come up. Come up. Right.
Emma, we met Emma on Friday, and she told us this take, and we said, immediately, you're coming up. But before we start that, who here in The Last Jedi, who actually wanted Kylo Ren to put on a cowl? There. Exactly. Keep it off.
Yeah. Okay.
Keep it off.
Right, so Kylo Ren, I think, or Ben Solo, I think is regarded as one of the big successes of this sequel trilogy.
Yep.
You don't agree, do you?
I really dislike Kylo Ren. Mainly because he's not scary. Like, if you think, so I'm a big Clone Wars fan, and Darth Maul is peak baddie. Yes, thank you.
Nice one.
And obviously you've got classic Darth Vader and the Emperor being insane. Kylo Ren's a bit rubbish. He's very emo, very whiny.
Do you think you could ever have a Star Wars villain that's not bigger, more iconic, more fearsome than Vader?
Darth Maul.
You think he's
I
a step
think
above?
they need to
There's
bring
two
it.
hot takes.
But if you haven't watched Clone Wars, I don't think you'll understand why.
Okay.
He's much better in Clone Wars.
Okay, that's a hot take. Who here loves Kylo Ren or slash Ben Solo? We got a person back there. Person who is waving at me. Come hither. Round of applause, please.
Come on up, Homelander. What's your name, sir?
My name is Zafir.
You're a lad. Now, you're a Kylo Ren stan.
Yes.
The floor is yours. How do you argue
I
against
mean,
that?
For starters, yes, Darth Maul is the best Star Wars villain. And he is the best because he's like really angry. But I feel like we've had all of that before. And I feel like the point of Kylo Ren is he just isn't that good.
What? What do you mean? As in good as in like a good guy?
I'll let you
Not a
handle
goodie.
this.
He himself doesn't think he's that good, which is why he
True.
hates everything. And
True.
Everyone.
He hates himself.
He thinks whatever Luke tried to kill him because he's not that good, and then Stroll bullies him because he's not that good, and he comes off as not that good.
So he is a bit of an emo. But in a
Yeah.
good way.
Yes.
Yeah,
I feel
in
like
a believable way.
I feel like that's the point of Kylo Ren.
Yeah,
To be not that good.
I like Kylo Ren. I think he's a layered baddie with some depth.
Feel like
Again, I think he was the one in the sequel trilogy who had the most development, other than Rey Skywalker in the first film.
Yeah.
Do we have an argument against what we're hearing?
I feel like, I don't know if any of you have seen the live action Aladdin,
Yes.
Yep.
but Jafar, super scary in the animation, absolutely terrible in the live action, not scary at all. And my brother and I always compare him to Kylo Ren, just like a non-scary baddie. But I do agree with what you say, his character development is good. But I just, as a bad guy, who we're supposed to be like, oh, we're going against him, he's just a bit meh.
I love Kylo Ren, man, and I love Ben Solo. For me, The Rise of Skywalker, again, I have issues with that film, but that scene with Han and Ben at that point.
On the Death Star.
I mean, we did a breakdown about it like a few weeks ago, and that scene, I genuinely think is nearly flawless.
Yep.
It's pretty much flawless. That is just peak Star Wars. Now, what's interesting, I think someone here had their hand up for another counterpoint, right? So, come up, mate. I know you said it's not a count. Round of applause!
Here he comes. What's your name, mate? Jack. We know your name, but they don't.
Jack.
Where are you from, Jack?
London.
No, there's a right answer.
Oh, go away.
Chimera Clan. He's a Mandalorian. Round of
is-
applause.
Actually,
He's a
I'm
Mando.
I'm a clone, thank you very much.
Oh, he's a clone. He's a clone. He's a clone. All right, okay.
Just to continue off what they were saying is the fact that, you know, Kylo's meant to be the main bad of the trilogy, like Vader. but he gives off more of like a secondary villain, a bit like Hux was. Like him, they were like, you know, he was meant to be the main bad, and then he was, you know, again overthrown by Snoke, who was more of a main bad than he was.
Do you know what? They're actually convincing me. They're turning me around at this point, because now I'm thinking, yeah, actually, as a bad guy, by the end of it, didn't really do anything. I mean, yeah, he killed his dad, he didn't really want to, and then
I'm with you,
didn't
mate.
go very far
I'm
on from
with
there.
you.
But I love
Forget
Kylo
him.
Ren, though.
But then
Forget
there's
'em.
also the point where Hux also swapped to the good side. So they literally done
Oh,
the
let's
exact
not
same
talk about
thing.
that bit. I'm the
Hux
spy.
swapped, Kylo swapped. Exact same movie.
It sounds like we're in agreement here that these three don't really like Kylo Ren.
Well, you like Kylo Ren, don't you?
No.
I do like Kylo Ren. I think he's great.
Is there no
No,
bad
I
guy?
think he's
not
great.
a good
Okay.
bad guy.
He's a good bad guy. Who thinks Kylo Ren is a good bad guy? He's complicated.
Come on.
He's an emo. He's emotional. He's beautiful.
He's a mile wide.
He looks cool.
He's a
He
big
looks
boy.
cool. We all love it. He
He's
was
better
what?
with the mask on.
He was better with a mask on.
But better with his top off.
Oh, there we go.
What a way to end that one, then.
What's going on here,
we've
guys?
been flanked.
What's going on here? Oh, look. Oh.
Yeah, take him.
Naughty.
Take him. His hot takes suck.
This is what happens when you like Kylo Ren.
Yeah. Don't tell him about me. Guys, thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Cheers. This isn't part of the plan, but I'm quite happy for it to continue. Still family friendly, mind, of course. Two big men chaining up my co-host. Okay, we'll get you on. Okay. Cheers, guys. Thank you very much, all of you guys.
Right,
Thank
so
you.
Kylo Ren, overall, I think that was a thumbs up. Is that right? I think we got a thumbs up. Yeah,
Thumbs
for the
up.
most part. I'm sorry. Well, who's thumbs down now, by the way? Who's thumbs down now? Who cheer? Cheer. Nah, Les Lessiers. Right. Clear off.
Thank you so
Clear
much,
off.
guys.
Thank you so much. Well, we got some really good hot takes here, haven't we?
I think
We
it
got
was
some
Kylo
really,
Ren,
really
though,
good
who
hot
said,
takes.
we're not done yet. So, anybody else? I'm trying to see through the lights.
I
Who
see,
has got
I
a
see,
hot take?
I see a beautiful man in a Book of Boba Fett series cosplay. Get up here, you silver fox. It's Chris Fox. Round of applause.
Oh. Swoon. Thank you, Mike. There you are, mate.
Isn't it hot? Isn't it hot?
It's hot.
Yeah,
and
thank
it's
you.
bright.
Thank
Yeah.
you, mate. Right,
Can't see anyone.
hot take. What you got for us?
You ready for this?
I'm ready.
C-3PO serves zero purpose to the story from start to finish.
Hold on, where's Anthony Daniels? Is he still here?
It's going to come chase me down, isn't it?
So
Yeah.
C-3PO,
What's the point of him?
a waste of
Point
time,
of
right?
C-3PO.
Oh, we got some claps.
Okay.
Who agrees? Who agrees?
Who here is a massive fan of C-3PO? I can see you over there with the hand up there with the glove on. In the on the end there with the glove on. Yep, you. I see you waving. Yep. Come on up. Oh, come on up again.
Oh, second appearance. There we go.
As you could tell, I can't see.
Yeah, Matty boy. There we go.
I'm
No,
blind,
right.
but-
So, microphone. C-3PO.
Yeah, C-3PO. He's a nice, funny English man. And also, I don't understand why people don't like a diversity of different droids in Star Wars. I think having a nice, grounded, comedic character is refreshing. I don't know about his purpose, but then arguably what purpose do other droids serve? What? Yeah, he's comic relief. I don't understand how that's not a purpose to a film.
Answer that, mate.
Jar Jar's comic
Yeah.
relief.
And does he work?
But he's not a droid.
I think Jar Jar is funnier than 3PO.
Oh! You think? Who thinks Jar Jar's funnier than C-3PO? Come on.
And we're fans of Jar Jar on this stage. We love a bit of Jar Jar.
Well, I don't
we
mind.
love our
We
mates.
dabble in the Jar Jar.
We love our mates.
We dabble in the Jar Jar.
I just think if you actually he's in 6 films, like all the films. He's that character, him and R2. R2 you need. R2 can't go without him. He has purpose. But 3PO, if he left R2 on Tatooine, off you go, son.
Yeah. Oh!
He was a
that's
god
true.
to the Ewok.
The
If it
Ewoks.
wasn't for 3PO, Han and Luke eaten by Ewoks.
Oh, Chris, mate!
Nah, there's a
He's
way
been
out of this.
done.
Don't know how.
What's the way out?
Come
What's
on,
the way
son.
out?
Come on.
Luke used his... 3PO didn't get him out. He only got him out because Luke lifted him up, made him look like a god, scared all the Ewoks.
But to the
Luke would
Ewoks,
have
he
found
has
a way,
purpose.
Yeah, but Luke would have found a way out of that still.
Luke could have like
Luke would have found-
force
yeah.
exploded the
Mind
Ewoks.
tricks, Boom, Ewoks popping everywhere.
Yeah, he could have killed them.
Luke was the hero there.
Yeah. Right. Rise.
Red arm.
He is
Without
good
that
in
red
Rise.
arm.
He is good in Rise of Skywalker. Right. So what are we thinking? C-3PO. Are we thinking
Sack
he's a
him
waste
off.
of time? Are we sacking him off? Who agrees? Who agrees?
Oh, Chris, mate. Wow. Well, your cosplay looks good, mate.
Who agrees with ED? C-3PO is
Sorry, mate.
I can see.
unanimous. Unanimous. Well done. Well done, Edie. Sorry, Chris.
No worries.
Sorry, Chris. Right, that's a spicy one. Have we got other hot takes? I'm liking the hands. I'm liking the hands. The man with the cap here. That's a risky game, and I can't really see people. Isn't it?
I know.
That is a risky game.
Come
Come
on,
up.
mate. Grab a microphone off the sofa and tell the world your name.
Hi, I'm Charlie.
Charlie?
And my hot take is that resetting the canon back in 2014 was a good thing.
I'm with you there.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So there are already people that are disagreeing. Who loves the old canon, the old expanded universe, the Yuuzhan Vong, all that stuff? Who loves that? Oh, who just wooed? Who just wooed? Jack, was that you? Come up here, mate. Someone else.
He wasn't wooing.
Come here. And who else? Who else loves the old canon? Yeah, it is Sif Twi'lek. Come on. Oh, there's someone over there on the bottom left. Yes, you did it. You put your hand up.
We see you.
You put your hand
And at the
up.
back as well, there's someone as well. He's
Come
waving.
Come up here. Come up here.
Come on,
okay.
son.
All right.
To defend the honour of the EU of Legends.
Round
Here
of
he
applause, please.
What a beard.
What a guy. Yes.
What's your name, mate?
Michael.
Michael. So you're here to basically dispute everything Charlie said. You're going to tell him it's rubbish. Floor is yours.
I will do. Before I do that, I want to say something about The Last Jedi. Because Leia does her worst impression ever of Superman early on in the film, and it's one of the worst scenes I think I've ever seen in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Just want to put that out there. Okay.
I'm not defending that.
There's a few claps.
I don't like that scene.
Also, we mentioned earlier on about Darth Maul being probably one of the greatest villains. Darth Kryer is by far and away the greatest villain that ever existed.
There she is over
Oh.
there.
So,
Yes, you
just putting that out
got
there.
a cheer. You got a cheer. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Also, the best character in Star Wars, without doubt, is Cade Skywalker.
Wow.
Here
so
we
we
go.
are
We're
doing
going in now.
Expand.
We're in.
You are pro expanded universe.
Yep.
Okay, Charlie.
My perspective on this is actually incredibly simple. I'm a new Star Wars fan,
Yep.
which means
Yep.
that if I had to go through and read through and watch through and read all the comics and all of the books and all of the everything from all of the extended universe, I would have given up out of the gate. I would not
True.
have gotten anywhere.
Have you tried reading some of those old stories?
I have decided that instead of going back and reading stuff that has become not canon, I am going through all of the canon stuff and filling my brain with that instead.
This is my kind of guy.
So yeah, I am more or less up to date with all of the visual material at this point, and I just acquired all the Thrawn books over at Penguin, so that's my next
Nice,
one.
nice. The
But
Thrawn
I would-
books, they're
I
good.
would
Yeah.
I would never
Yeah.
have gone back and revisited all of the old stuff because there's so much, it's so intimidating.
So there's got to be a reason now why Charlie should go back. You know what? Why should he go back and check it out? What's so good about Legends?
It is a fair point. I do feel a little bit bad that one of your first interactions with Star Wars was episode 7, 8, and 9. I mean, they're really not what I would believe to be the greatest parts of Star Wars. So I obviously went into the future with the expanded universe when I was talking earlier. But if I want to go all the way back and give you a reason to look into the past, you can go into sort of like the Old Republic. And the Old Republic is a phenomenal deep dive into the Jedi at their high point. the Light Wars, the Dark Wars, all that existed there, the Hyperspace Wars, absolutely brilliant sort of series, and they sort of set up everything that exists in terms of the galaxy that comes into the new state that we have today.
Any Old Republic fans here, by the way? A couple.
Wow, that is less than I thought
There's
there'd be. No KOTOR fans, really? Like, not that bothered? Yeah, there's a guy in a Mando helmet. Yes. Okay. All right. What do you think, mate?
Because the thing is, because we'd lost all the stuff from Legend, so it kind of like left a blank slate with like what was coming in the future. Because obviously, when Bad Batch came out, when the spoilers, by the way, but it's on you. In the end episode, you know, Kamino gets destroyed, which means it's way less likely we're going to get something like Starkiller, which could have been amazing to have a live-action Starkiller.
Good.
What was that?
Carry on.
Yeah. And it's like we miss out on so many things. Like we don't. Like, so it's just leaving us in the dark for what Disney are going to do, because we don't know about stuff like, are they going to bring back some of the cool like viruses and stuff like that made, like for example, zombie troopers?
Probably not anytime soon, mate.
Exactly. But like that could be something cool to bring into live action.
Now I can't stand Starkiller. I think that is a canon, like ruining thing. Like a dude who can bring down a Star Destroyer,
You know who he is,
like zap like a planet to death. I don't know. It's a bit OTT.
Yeah.
Now here's a question for you guys and for you guys up here. Do you think, because you raised the point that like the old canon was so big, it's so vast. Like how could a new person get invested in it? Now, I'm a massive Star Wars fan, obviously. Do you not necessarily think with the new canon, it could be like that with the shows, with the films, with the shows, with even more shows? What do you think?
The difference there is that the new stuff is accessible. You can find it. I am not local. I am Danish. I flew in, which means that if I want to find all of the old novels, all of the old comics, I have to go deep diving and probably into torrents in order to find it, which I'd prefer not to, because it's just inaccessible. But all of the new stuff, all the stuff that's currently canon, you can find that. It's out there and it's accessible.
Yeah. That's a fair point. I love me a bit of canon. Me and Luke, we debate this all the time. But I can't read and listen to all of it, because there is, even now, I find there's still too much of it. And not all of it's great. Some of it is, some of it's a bit waff, but I can't always keep up with it. But I do agree it's more accessible, but also that's just a product of the fact that they did whack all that stuff away from the early 90s. And when in 2012, it's a digital era, so it will make it that little bit easier. But the point I agree with.
I mean, Yuzhan Vong, like, they're pretty out there. Like, someone definitely took some sort of substance and wrote that stuff down. Thought it was a good idea. I'm not the biggest fan. It's a bit crazy, a bit Star Trek-y for me. Not the biggest fan. Have either of you guys changed your minds, or are you coming to a healthy disagreement? What are you thinking?
I still disagree, but I can see where you're coming from with it
lad.
And stuff like that. And like the accessible thing, that's very true. You're not wrong.
Always about balancing the Force.
Love it.
Good lad.
Love it. And that's how Star Wars should be. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, guys. Now, those were our hot takes. Those were your hot takes. Thank you so much for coming to our show. Like I said, we do a weekly show. It's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you can find a podcast. Please tune in. It's Star Wars Sessions, as this beefcake is displaying right here. Check us out. Please subscribe, leave a like, leave a review.
StarWarsSessions.co.uk is where you'll find all of the good stuff. If you like what you've heard here today, please do check us out. Give us a little like, give us 5 stars, or just slide into the DMs. We don't mind that. Let us know what you think about the show. But we want to thank everyone for coming today, for joining in, for coming up on stage, and for giving us such fantastic content, and for keeping us going for the last few years. So thank you, everyone.
This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way. This is the way. I've always wanted to do this. I've always wanted to do this, right? I'm going to say boba, boba, boba. You say fet, right? Okay. Boba, boba, boba. Boba, boba, boba. Boba, 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 boba. Boba, boba, boba. Yes. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good time. Thank you.